here is our pillow kit. Around the perimeter is the tactile border that can be felt by touch. For someone who is blind or visually impaired, this enables them to be guided where to stitch simply by touch. We're going to start in one of the corners right under this tactile border and basically be stitching both the front of the fabric to the back of the fabric. I've got my threaded needle. I'm going to start in the corner, going through both pieces, putting the tip of my needle down through, so there's about 1/4 inch coming up through the back, pressing the top of the needle toward the right so that the tip of the needle comes from the back up through the front. And that is our first running stitch. So again, working from the front, taking my needle, going back down about 1/4 inch in the back through both pieces of fabric, pressing the needle toward the right so that the tip comes back up the front again. That's my second stitch. I keep doing this. So down about 1/4 inch, press the needle to the right, push the tip through the front, and we keep doing this running stitch. All 4 sides of this pillow with just one threading. So when you get about, I don't know, 5-6 inches worth of thread left, I would recommend you stop and you tie your project off and rethread so that you have enough slack to be able to easily make a knot. This is especially important if someone is blind or visually impaired because they need this slack to use by touch and not by sight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start going down as if I'm taking a stitch, just bringing my needle down a bit and then back up. And rather than pull the needle through right away, I can feel the thread on my finger in the back, and it's looping around my finger. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to keep my finger there and push my needle through with my middle finger inside that loop. Now that helps me if I'm blind or visually impaired because I don't have to look for that loop to tie my needle through. I can feel it, and then I can put the point of my needle through the loop and then release my finger, and that makes a little knot. So then I'm going to do it twice just to make sure it's secure, and take another little stitch, come back up again, holding on to this thread back here as I pull the needle through, and that way I can put my needle through the loop and tie my knot. But it is, once you get used to it, a very easy way. Okay, so you can see I've gone around all 3 sides, and I'm 1/4 of a way across on the last side. And what I wanted to show you is that when you're sewing the pillow kit, keep in mind that because the backing is 2 pieces that are taped together for envelope style backing, that there is the potential for you to miss a piece of the backing fabric if it's flapped over. So you want to be careful about that. I do have the plastic pins that are keeping them together, but as you take those pins off, make sure that that back piece is up against the fabric while you're sewing. So when you bring your needle through, you'll feel in the back you have 2 pieces. Make sure that is flush up against the back so that your needle is going to go through, in this case, all 3 pieces of fabric. So come down, oops. You want to make sure, again, so here's your overlapping piece of fabric. And go down through all 3 pieces and then back up. So it's a little thicker, you can feel it. You might want to just take 1 stitch at a time through this thickness, and you might want to do a couple of back stitches too to make sure that it's nice and tight, keeping those overlapping pieces together. And then just continue. Okay, so I've sewn all the way around, hand stitched all the way around the 4 perimeters of my 2-piece pillow kit. You can see the little red stitches, and if I turn it over to the back, you can see even better. And you note that I have the envelope backing, the 2 pieces, and that the stitches are holding down the 2 pieces nicely, so I don't have any gaps there. 2 pieces on both sides. So we are ready to take off our tape that's in the back, holding the 2 pieces together. And now we will turn our project right side out. So we're just going to fold it so that we stick the points, put our fingers into the points to make sure those come out nice and crisp. And the other side, bring the other 2 points of the pillow back from the front, turning it right side out. Again, use your finger to gently point in the corners so that that excess fabric is not bulking up the corners. And there we have our beautiful pillowcase all sewn. So now we're going to take our insert that comes with your kit, and we're going to put that right into the pillowcase through that envelope backing. I like to stuff the corners in first, make sure it's nice and plush in the corners, and pull the other side of the envelope and put the other 2 corners in. And there you go. You have your beautiful 2-piece pillowcase.